Under Firat, I can say, to be honest, it wasn't my best time. Not that I'm bragging, but I've won everything in Kenya. Yeah. I needed a new challenge. Even if I was in the national team, I was making the squad, but I wasn't playing. They check your urine after every week. When you all report, they check your urine just to see if you hydrate properly and all that. So here I wasn't exposed to that. You train Monday, Tuesday, you can rest on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, it depends on the coach. Some coaches can give you a rest day before the match, a day before the match. In Kenya, they can't try that. There are people at the federation past their working hours, working hard for to get that release and to send it over.
Without medicals, without anything.
Like you just sign, you'll do the medicals when you get there.
When you started, you were starting off initially as a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
In fact, let's start there. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Beyond 90. My name is Kenyan, and today we are honored by the presence of the one and only, one of the best defenders this country has produced over the past few years. He's played for some of the biggest clubs in the country. He's played for the national team. He's even played in Sweden, and right now is based in the UK. Thank you so much, Eugene, for honoring our invite.
Thank you so much for having me, man.
Thank you so much. And of course, there are a lot of things that we are going to be discussing. But before we continue, maybe for the purposes of the listener who's watching us right now, maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? How did you get into the football industry? And
just a little bit history.
Yeah, a little bit of yourself, who you are, where you're from.
All right, my name is Eugene Asike. I'm Kenyan, definitely. I come from a family of 5. I'm the last born. I started my football career way back when I was 16 years. Yeah, like 16 years. I started at Miki Wecha Academy. After that, I joined Impala Academy, just a long road. And after that, now I started taking football seriously because I saw I had the potential. Even the coaches are like, yeah, you have a potential in football and you can make it big if you just give it your best and work hard. So yeah, pretty much I started my football career when I was 16 years old. And not many started when they're 16. What were you doing when you were 16?
When I was 16. Wow. When I was 16.
And this is top flight. I started playing in the top flight football in Kenya when I was 16 years. Yeah, so it's a big achievement.
NSL, no Div 1, no Div 2.
No. So 16 years old, I was still in school. I was training, wearing my uniform, going to school. So from there on, I just decided like football is gonna be my life. Eat, sleep, everything football till to date.
Till to date. And I'd like to take you back. You launched your professional career pretty much at 16. Of course, you were playing for Nairobi City Stars. But to get to Nairobi City Stars, of course, there were building blocks in place for you to get to Nairobi City Stars.
Definitely.
So take us through step by step getting there. How are you able to find yourself in a position where at 16 you're already part of the Nairobi City Stars squad in the top flight?
So this came about when I was still at Impala Academy. We had a small tournament in Kawangware at that time. And we performed well, and there were coaches there from City Stars, and they were interested in my services. And I was like, okay, I can't wait for another opportunity. Why not? Yes, I'm young, but I can learn. I can learn when I'm there, and I can improve on so many stuff about my game. So I jumped onto that contract, and pretty much it wasn't easy at first. Coming from an academy, joining a league club in the top flight, it wasn't easy. But luckily, there were experienced players there, the likes of Basweti, the likes of Dennis Wise. They took me under their arms and they were like, okay, yes, we know you're young, but we'll give you time. The coaches were like, okay, we'll give you time to adapt, to get to know how top flight football goes about. So it wasn't easy, to be honest. It wasn't easy, but at the same time I was excited, because I was like, okay, I'm playing in the top flight football in Kenya, top flight club in Kenya, and I'm still 16, I'm still studying, so it can't get better than this. So all I had to do is just to work hard. But before I even went to City Stars, I'd played so many tournaments, not in Kibera, not in Dandora, so I had it gave me that tough, to have that tough edge, you know. And then so I joined City Stars, and everything from there was not easy, but it was a good experience, challenging in a good way.
And maybe a little bit to take you back. Of course, you were part of the Impala Soccer Academy. Of course, over there you had players, you were training alongside players like Ayub
Timbe, Zizo,
all these players, and of course you were under the tutelage of Mickey Weche, right? Mickey Weche, the legendary former defender, and you yourself is a defender. So explain to me the impact he had into your career, because when you started, you were starting off initially as a goalkeeper. In fact, let's start there. Actually, you started off as a goalkeeper.
I started off my career as a goalkeeper. I was a big fan of Schmeichel. Till today, I'm a Manchester fan because of Schmeichel. So this what happened. So one day I was the goalkeeper. It's what I loved doing back then. So I got injured on my little finger, and it kind of was dislocated. So I was like, this is the end of me being a goalkeeper. I think I was just like, no, I can't take this pain anymore. And then I thought, I was like, that's not my calling to be a goalkeeper. Yeah. So under Mickey Weche, he I can't thank him enough, because he really instilled in me the discipline one should have to make it really big in football, because he was a defender as well. So I tapped into his mind, and he taught me a lot of stuff on and off the pitch, which I'm still grateful till today. So because he's still a legend of the game. He played in the national team, so many stuff he has done for Kenya. So he taught me a lot of stuff, how to defend when I was still young, how to carry myself on the field, how to be also a leader. Because if you look at my career, all the teams I've played for, I've been the captain, even the national team. So after that, then I moved to Impala, and Impala I met Eric Ouma. Also, I'm grateful for him, because now he showed me a different style. A different style. He exposed me to different tournaments that made me look at football in a different way, in a positive way, definitely. So at Impala, I was with the likes of Ayub Timbe, a good friend of mine. We played lots of games with him. We won a lot of trophies. Our main rival was or if you can remember, there's a team called Olympic or Olimpo. So when we used to play, it was a derby, because both teams are around Kibera. Most players come from Kibera. So like, it was big. Shops will close, everybody will come watch the game, we'll have a big crowd. So from there is when I just knew, like, football is my thing. And Eric took me from the goal. When I left being a goalkeeper, I went to be a striker. Eric told me, no, your height and your body is not for a striker. Because I wasn't scoring as a striker, I was just giving assists. I didn't want to take responsibility, so he said, no, I prefer you being as a defender because of your height and how you read the game. So that's how I ended up being a defender.
And of course, correct me if I'm wrong, but of course, people like Ayub ended up moving to Belgium by way of the JMJ Soccer Academy.
JMJ.
So, and I was reading somewhere, your brother, who became your agent at some point, also did end up going there at some point.
And I also may end up going there as well.
So, how, for you, how
did it come about? So, when I was at Impala, Ayub's brother, One was called Shaban and another one called Omari.
Yeah.
They opened an academy under Jean Marie. Yeah. So through Ayub, I got to move to JMJ, and also they also saw me playing as well. Yeah, because it was based in Kawangware. So that's how I ended up joining JMJ, and I made my first trip to Belgium under JMJ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So while they were there, that's when they ended up getting picked. But
yeah, most of the players who made it at that time, like the likes of Tosh.
Tosh, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Tosh, his brother Omari, Ayub himself. That was the time like they were spotted when we went for our first trip.
But for you,
for me, it didn't work out well for me, but I can say it was a good experience because it was my first time in Belgium. Not my first time, actually it was my first time in Europe.
In Europe, in general?
In general, actually it was my first time. It was a good learning experience for me, so I took it in a good way.
And so you come back, of course, you are based in Impala until you're 16. At the time, of course, you're not like us who went to normal high schools and did KCSE exams. I think you went through a different system. So that means for you, you finished high school later in terms of on the basis of the way in Kenya it's Form 4 and then you're done, but there is I think
grade
Form
11
and 12. It was at that point now where you are now transitioning.
I can say I'm lucky because I was studying at Jaffrey's Academy. At that time the mistress was Miss Leah. She was so into football, so she told me like, okay, you as long as you just report to school, you do your thing in the morning, go for training, as long as you come and do your classes after, then I'm okay with it. So she was also proud that one of the students is playing top flight football. So it was so I could juggle both studies and football because the school allowed me to do that.
And then you leave Sofapaka. I mean, not Sofapaka. We'll get to that. Of course, you leave Nairobi City Stars, and then the opportunity to join KCB comes up.
So when I left, the reason why I left City Stars, it wasn't easy for me to take because as in any life, in any career, it's not always a bed of roses. You have to have your challenges. They always have to have like bumps along the way. It's not always a smooth ride. So a new coach came in. His name I think was Oliver Page or something, if I'm not wrong. So he came in. I was still young. I hadn't made my debut. I was just making the squad, but on the bench. So before I left, I'd only played one game. I can remember I made my debut at Nyayo Stadium. It was against...
This in the 2010 season, because at the time it was just...
when Super Sport was there. So I think it was 2013 actually.
2013.
2013, So I made my debut, one game, the season came to an end. So during pre-season, the new coach came in and was like, okay, you're young, I want experienced players right now, and I don't think I'll need your services. For a young player to be told that it's hard to take, you know, it's a blow under your belt, but for me, luckily I had my family around me, especially my brother who was really close to me. He told me, don't give up, you know. So luckily, when I was playing at City Stars, I'd already gotten a call up to the national team under 20.
Under 20.
Under 20. And who was the coach at that time? Swale. And Swale was the coach of KCB. So he's doubling up as the KCB coach and the national team coach. So I went back home, sat, and like for 3 days I was just figuring out what's gonna be my next move. Then I received a call from Swale. It was like, I've seen you have been released from City Stars. Would you mind coming over to KCB? I was like, no, sure. It's a coach that I've worked with, so I don't think it will be hard for me to settle in. So yeah, and that's how I ended up moving to KCB. because this a coach who knows my style of play.
Exactly.
We have been with him in the national team. He gave me the captaincy at the national team, so why not? So that's how I ended up moving to KCB.
To KCB.
Yeah.
And at KCB, you're there for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 seasons. Yeah, 2 years.
Then that's when you leave for Sofapaka, and we will get to that in a moment. But at KCB, what were the highlights of your time over there? Because like I've noticed, every club you go to, you become the captain. So despite being young, you're already going there and you're leading men that are older than you. So what were your highlights during your time there?
At KCB, I can say my highlights was just I ended up playing almost 32 games in the season, because okay, KCB, we were not really challenging for the title. We were mid-table team.
Mid-table,
but at KCB is when now I got to understand the Kenya Premier League well, you know, because I was given so many games to play, and then ended up being the captain of the following season. So I can say in KCB is when now I was like, now I introduced myself into the Kenya Premier League.
Exactly.
Now that's when people started knowing like, oh, Eugene Asike. That's when people started knowing me out there.
And that's when you're still part of the under 20 and then the under 23 setup.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were already coming through the ranks.
Yeah, so I was coming through the ranks at KCB. I also ended up, we played, was it AFCON qualifiers? Yeah, we had also a good team. Maurice was there on board. That's where I met my good friend Humphrey Mieno. Yeah, we have a good history with him. Like most of the clubs I've played for, he has played for. Yeah, so we had a good team in the national team. Leonard Swale Ham was also at KCB. So it was a good period for me at KCB. It was a really good period at KCB. Then Sofapaka came calling, but before Sofapaka came calling, this house Sofapaka tapped me into their squad is because we played against Sofapaka. Yeah, and at that time I was marking John Baraza. So I had a good game.
So at this point you've already transitioned from full back to centre back.
Yes.
At that point.
Yes. So because at City Stars, you really did your homework.
Yeah, I really did. But generally I've also been following Kenyan football from a young age.
So I started off as a right back at City Stars, then I came in as a centre back. Yeah, at KCB, I came in as a centre back.
As a centre back. So correct me if I'm wrong. And this may be by the way, probably. Of course, you've played for the national team, of course, at even the senior level. And up until your return in 2021, when Ghost was there, you had played for the national team almost like 8 or 9 years before you came back.
Yes. There was a gap. There was a period I wasn't in the national team. And even if I was in the national team, I was making the squad, but I wasn't playing.
You were not playing.
So it took me a while to understand, to figure out what was happening. But what I say to myself is, as long as I'm injury free, as long as I'm playing for my club, I'll get back to the national team. And as long as I'm performing to the highest level, then I'll get back to the national team.
So the coach that gave you your international debut, of course, normally the guy that gives you your international bow is someone usually you never tend to forget.
Yes.
So describe that game, that moment, that feeling.
Okay. Unfortunately passed away is Michel. So I made my national team debut against South Africa. At Nyayo Stadium. So during that week, it was all calm, calm and collected as usual. I was like, okay, I'm young, you know. I'm looking at the likes of Situma, I'm looking at the likes of Kokoyo. I'm like, there's no way I can get, I can get minutes, but I cannot be in the starting lineup. But as the game came closer, you can tell as a player, like if the coach wants to use you, you can see, okay, like he's trying me out in different positions as a right back and a centre back. Yeah, so match day came and we had this meeting and the coach normally he normally doesn't. Most coaches come out and call out the first 11. For him, he didn't do that. He had already written the squad, so he just turned the sheet, and I was like, okay, Asike. I started off as a right back.
As a right back.
And guess who was marking that day? Shabalala.
Shabalala.
The guy who scored the
World Cup 2010. Yeah.
I was like, it's gonna be a long day. Day. But for me, I was happy. I was excited. Even I remember when the national anthem was playing, I cried because it's for any young any young kid or any footballer out there, his dream is to always play for the national team. So my debut was good. I started off as a right back, then the second half was brought in as a centre back. So it was good. It is a good feeling always to make your debut in the national team.
To the national team, and then fast forward.
After that, we traveled to Tanzania. And that time I was marking this player, what is his name? He played in the EPL as well. Bwana Samata and the other offensive guy as well. So we went to Tanzania and we played against them. We drew. The stadium was packed. It was a good feeling just to be part of the national team, to get the trust from the coach as a young player to start in the national team, knowing you're representing almost 50 million Kenyans. So it's always a good feeling. So after that, we had a good time, went to Rwanda and all that. Then he left, so another coach came in. So that's how it works in football.
It works in football, and it had to wait until 2021. By now 2021, of course, it's fast forward to then.
In
2021, I think you had just been named Defender of the Year. Of course, we'll get to that, but for you to get back to the national team after all those years, and August, I think it was, and you were actually in the starting lineup. What did it mean for you after all those years? Yes, you've been part of the national team, maybe you're not playing, but finally you get someone who gives you the chance to play
another chance to come back,
after all those years. That's what makes it.
At some point, even I wasn't focusing on when I will say, okay, they'll mention the national team squad is being called up tomorrow. At some point, my mind wasn't there because it has been a while since I was like, I don't stand any chance. Yes, I know I was performing. So for me, it came as a shocker, to be honest. And I can say this: it's actually, I was just from training at Tusker. I was in the changing room. I received a congratulations message from David Cheche. Congratulations! I'm like, wait. So I check. I'm like, okay, the national team squad has been named Eugene Asike. Then that's from there is when people started calling, hey, congratulations, you're back to the national team. For me it was a good feeling. It was a good feeling after years of still working hard to get back, and now eventually you earn that call up. It was a good feeling, unexplainable.
What are the dynamics usually like? Because I remember, I think we played Uganda, and then it was Uganda and then Rwanda. World Cup qualifiers 2021, and then in both cases it's 0-0. It's behind closed doors because of the COVID pandemic and whatnot. Of course, when you play and then you fail to register maximum points against teams like those, and you are trying to qualify for Qatar 2022, of course the dynamics kind of changes. How will you describe that kind of feeling? Because you started both games, I remember, and you took up a leadership role as well. Will you describe that kind of situation, how it was before now we go back to the journey as it was?
Always being in a national team is always a special feeling. You can't trade it for anything, to be honest. So just wearing the jersey and representing your country is one of the best feelings ever. So under Gos Mule, we were performing well, but we were not getting the result that people expected from us. So we played against Uganda. We drew. Then we went to Rwanda as well. Yeah, but for me, the Ugandan game was one of my best games under the national team colors. As a defender, if you get a clean sheet, that's a plus for you. And then in Rwanda, we also played well. But people, as you know, Kenyans always want results, which is that's business. That's football. You know, if you don't get results, then doesn't mean much. So under Gosmule, I really had a good time getting back to the national team, given the chance to play again, and just have that feeling. It was just good, but it was short-lived.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, because he wasn't there for long.
Yeah. And that's when Firat came in. Do you get any call up?
Yeah, I was with Firat. I traveled with him. Which game, if I can remember, but we played Rwanda. I was in the squad where we lost to Mali. For the fans,
Morocco.
We lost 5.
Yes, exactly. Now that one. Was it just a sticky situation after losing? You've just lost 5-1 to Mali. It's your first game under this new coach. Of course, I remember he even changed substitutions, 2 goalkeepers within. So how, like the really bad moments in the nationals?
It's normally not easy for a player, as you know, when you get into the national team, you build that trust between you and the coach. So if a new coach comes in, he comes in with these new players, because apparently you'll be like, you people have been here, but you haven't produced the result that people want. So he'll want to change. So it affected me, because he came in with his own ideas, with his own philosophy, with his own style of management, and changed the squad. So in those 2 games, pretty much I was on the bench, you know. Exactly. Being a regular starter, and then
you're on the bench.
Yeah, so
you can't even help your team.
You can't control anything at that moment. But under Firat, I can say, to be honest, it wasn't my best time at the national team. We actually didn't get along. We didn't get along. Not about, maybe he knows best, but for me, it wasn't anything to do with discipline. No, not about. We didn't just get along. The chemistry wasn't there. And that's why I ended up not playing any game.
Exactly.
Which I understand. Maybe his style of play is different from how I see the game, and I respect that.
Because he's more of a, 2 low banks of 4. Make sure nothing goes through us. Maybe for you want to. Exactly. For you, the way you view the game is more expansive.
But I understood. I understood that in football you come across different coaches who have different style of play, who believe in different philosophies, and you have just to take it.
Exactly. So let's go back to club football. You leave KCB, you join Sofapaka. So why join Sofapaka? Because I know
the money back.
After Sofapaka there was for you to leave Sofapaka, it was under very extenuating circumstances. Let me put it
one of the reasons that's why even I stayed out of the national team for quite some time is one of the reasons because of Sofapaka. I had a great time at Sofapaka until my second season, where we had an agreement with the club that come my second season, the things that they need to change in my contract. They need to pay me more in terms of my salary, bonuses, and all that. So they didn't do that. They didn't go with what the contract was saying. So, and I was like, okay, for me, I think it's time for me now to move out, because I'd gone 3 months without being paid, and FIFA rules says if you haven't been paid for 3 months, you can walk out from the club. It's something that it hadn't been done in Kenya. I remember very much, if I can remember well, players were really scared of challenging the club. So I ended up walking to the chairman and telling him, okay, I've received an offer from Tusker and I would like to move out. Just release me, you know. But the funny thing is that they didn't want to release me.
So initially, you were okay with just leaving without...
No, no. Now I'm getting there.
Oh.
When I signed for Sofapaka, I had a signing on fee.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So this signing on fee I was here to receive it.
No, you were here to receive it.
Yeah.
Oh, so for you it wasn't even about actually the 3 months without pay.
No.
Okay.
It was on my signing on fee. So they wrote for me a check and everything. So when I went to the to the bank, I deposited the check. After 2 to 3 days, the bank called me like,
you're not seeing it anywhere.
This is a bouncing check. Yeah, so I called the club and they're like, no. You should have called us when you're taking the check. Okay, so why write for me the check and tell me to deposit and then tell me to call you when you're taking
after? Exactly.
So it didn't sit well with me, so I decided to take them to court. Which was a long battle, but eventually I won. Because I remember I went to court. You know Elvis Majani?
Yeah,
He's the one who represented me, a good lawyer, a good sports lawyer. So it hadn't been done in Kenya. So people were scared, this can be the end of your career. But for me, in the back of my mind, I was saying, this has to come to an end. It has to. You know, it's not only me. I was speaking for so many players. I had to say president in all this. So I said, okay, I'll sacrifice myself. Let me be the guinea pig.
Exactly.
Yeah. But after all this is done, I just want to see a change in the Kenyan football, how players are being treated. You know, we need to appreciate the players. So it was a long battle in the corridors of justice. Ended up going to High Court. The sports tribunal told me, no, you have to drop your case in High Court and come to the FKF, whatever tribunal. All that. So we won the case. Sofapaka appealed. And then we had to go for another case, like, because they appealed. They won the appeal. So when we went for the case, there was a tribunal which I'm just grateful for them, because they didn't choose sides. They just went straight to what the law says and all that. So I eventually won the case and I was paid my money, and that's how I moved to Tusker after being out for 6 months.
For 6 months? Yeah. And that is because of you had to sort out this situation?
Teams were like, okay, the federation itself couldn't allow me to sign for any club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, knowing that I'm a free agent.
Yeah, exactly.
If you go by the FIFA rules, I'm a free agent. I need to sign for any team at any point. That's the bossman rule.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah. But and I ended up knowing that eventually I'll just get a team. But behind it was cause back then when your team wins the league, the chairman becomes the chairman of the club becomes the chairman of the federation. The vice chairman becomes the second team that finished in that league. The vice chairman becomes
there.
The chairman becomes the vice chairman.
Exactly.
So who was the vice chairman? The president of Sofapaka, because Sofapaka had finished second.
Exactly.
So you see, it wasn't an easy fight.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy fight.
But eventually I won. So I got back to Tusker after 6 months being out. But after that, many players were paid. Yeah, exactly. So I'm grateful I did that.
You created a lasting legacy. And I believe that will lead us on to another big point that we'll talk about, setting the precedents for a lot of things, especially in a country where the football is still, or sports in general, is still too amateur on so many levels.
So many levels.
So you go to Tusker, and then at Tusker again you meet Ham again. At Tusker, that's where the next year you win the double. At Sofapaka I won the GoTV. The GoTV.
And then Ham moved to Sofapaka. Moved to Tusker. And when I was at Sofapaka, Kimanzi was also the coach there with Sally. So he liked my style of play. I learned a lot from him in terms of how to play the game. I think I'm so grateful that I was coached by Kimanzi. So he moved to Tusker, and He told me now it's time to come and play men's football, you know. That's real business, you know, because Tusker always goes for the title and all that. That's when I moved to Tusker. Yeah.
And then at Tusker,
2016.
At Tusker was a very good year.
It was a good year for me. But when I moved to Tusker, I moved into Tusker. That's when I met the likes of James Ituma, Tudo, and all that. Like there were Osborne Mande, Alan Wanga. There were big names in the changing room, and I'm coming in as a young one still, but I was up for the challenge, you know, because most of the people who were in Tusker, I was also with them at Sofapaka, James Ituma, Osborne Mande was also at So it wasn't hard for me to settle in. So, and then the coach is somebody who knows me and knows my game, and I like his philosophy. So it wasn't hard for me to settle in. So in Tusker is when I think I have had my best moments in my football career at Tusker, winning the double, playing in the Champions League football, everything that I've achieved, like I've achieved more in Tusker. The great things I've achieved in my career, it was in Tusker.
So you won the double with Tusker,
something that has never been done.
Something has never been done again. And then now from there, 2017, 2018, 2019.
At 2018, if you can remember quite well, I opted not to renew my contract in 2018 because I was invited for trials in Sweden. There's a time I was in the Kenya Premier League.
Exactly.
So there was a break here there. Then I came back and then I signed for them. So in 2018 I went to Sweden, did my best, but when it came to matters of contract, the deal collapsed, so I had to come back here.
So this is what club? This is
I was at Tusker, but I now went
I'm saying now
Roma,
in Sweden.
Roma Porjicana. If you can remember quite well, Cheche was there and Eric Johanna were there. So actually they hosted me, and I'm always grateful for that.
Was there a point where you went to Zambia at some point?
Yeah, that year I was all over the world. I went to Zambia, I went to Zimbabwe as well. I was but all these deals didn't work out for me because it will always boil down to contract. If I always feel like if I'm moving out from Kenya, going to a foreign country, I need to get paid more than what I'm receiving in Kenya.
Exactly, it's true, because you need to invest.
Exactly. It needs to be not only money-wise, but also in terms of development. You need to make a step forward in your career. You don't want to go somewhere you'll be frustrated with other stuff on the contract. You should just be focusing on football. So
and speaking of that, just to maybe a little bit cut you short, okay, of course, for you to be able to land these deals, you must have had like an agent.
I have an agent.
And I've actually remembered there was a point John Guidetti was based in Kenya somewhere, and then you see him play for Man City and stuff. So, is it his dad who and he still is
he's
now?
Still my agent. Mike Guidetti is still my agent. He's the one who took me to Sweden first time, second time. So, but when I was going around to Zambia, Zimbabwe, it wasn't Guidetti. It was David Kwalimo or just my own deals. My agent, the club reaches out. So I've had a good time out there. I can say that I've been to a lot of countries because of football, so I'm grateful for football as well. So Zimbabwe was at Platinum, Zambia went to Nkana and Cabo Warriors. Did my best, trials, everything was good. Just
just the formalities, that's where exactly in terms of disagreements, in terms of payoffs and things like that.
Most of the figures was being offered is what Tusker was offering me back.
And that didn't make sense. Exactly. So it's better to just stay at home.
But for somebody else, that was my opinion, you know. But for somebody else, we can be like, okay, but for exposure, you can go for that deal. But at that time in my career, I felt like that's not what I wanted at that time.
Exactly. So of course after you left, you came back to Tusker, And then in 2020-21, that's when you guys win the league again.
Yeah.
And you're named the KPL Defender of the Year.
Yeah.
Talk us through that period.
Actually, that was one also my best season in Kenyan football, because I played 35, almost 38 games plus cup matches, and I was quite consistent. And then we also had a good team, a hungry squad that wanted to win the league under Coach Matano. As you all know, he's a winner.
He's a winner.
Serial winner. So he instilled that in us, that mentality of always winning, always wanting to win, always wanting to win, no matter how you play. For him, is always end result, goals and 3 points. Yeah, you cannot play us, but come then on 90 minutes, we'll walk out victorious. So that's what he instilled in us. Till today, I have that winning mentality that whatever I do, I always want to win, always want to come out on top. So under Matano in 2021, we had really a great season, a really great season. The team was compact. We knew what we were doing as a team. We set our goals out there and we just went for it. We just went for it, and captaining the side and winning the league, and also being named best defender of the season, I think is the highlight of my career till to date. Not even the move to Sweden, I think.
That one,
yeah.
And then now that's when you moved to Sweden again. Now, for the first time, you've now signed for a club permanently outside of the country.
And there's a story behind it. I signed on deadline day. I signed on deadline day, because my agent, Mike Gudetti, called me and said, okay, I received an offer from a team in Sweden, Karlstad, a Super 8 team, and they're interested in your services. And what do you think about it? You have a day to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. And now I'm like, okay, I have only a day to go. Now I need to call Tusker and tell them this is what has happened. Get in touch with this club. Tusker, on the other hand, are like, okay, if you let you go right now, we don't have a replacement for you.
Exactly.
But I mean, I'm trying to weigh, like, I don't think, I was trying to explain to them, I don't think this opportunity is gonna come twice for me, because also time is going. I want to remain young forever. Had this discussion over the phone with the CEO. Had to go to the offices. Eventually, they agreed. They said, okay, it will be a good move for you, and you have been a good servant for the club, and we wish you all the best. So I ended up sending my contract and my certificate or whatever of release to them at like 30 minutes before.
And it has to be, is it faxing? Is it
you say
online nowadays?
Yes. There's this certificate, international transfer certificate, that the federation, so there are people at the federation past their working hours, working hard for you to get that release and to send it over. Until now, you've received it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up moving to Sweden.
Without medicals, without anything.
Like, you just sign, you'll do the medicals when you get there. So I'm always grateful for Tusker. I think when I went to Tusker, I was a boy, but I left there as a man.
You left there as a man.
I played Champions League against Al Ahly, Zamalek. It's a good experience as well as to play against big teams in the Champions League. It's a different type of football, different level, expectations. Yeah, so it was a good time for me at Tusker, and I'm always grateful for them. Yeah.
So how was your experience like in Sweden during your 1 year stay there? And maybe you could tell us the club that it was for the listener.
Yeah, the club that I was in is called Karlstad. It's not in Stockholm. It's in a small town called Karlstad, almost 2 hours away from Stockholm, the main city. It's a good team, I can say that. Well looked out. They always look out for the players very well. So it was, for me, the first few games wasn't easy because I was just settling in. Remember, I'm coming from Kenya, where the league is different from. It's my first time out there playing professional football. Yes, I've been to Sweden, I've been to South Africa, all those countries, but to get now a contract and now to settle, it wasn't easy, but I adapted quite well. I can remember my first game, it wasn't easy because the coach told me, okay, you're going to come in the second half, but this first half I just want you to learn, see what's happening, and then I'll get you in the second half. So I got in the second half, and the tempo was different. The intensity was different. Yeah, because their field is quite good, and it's wet. So the speed of the ball moves faster, not compared to here. They're quite tactical, but the physical part of it I was used to because we are quite physical. So at least I had that in my game. So first 2-3 games wasn't easy, but I adapted well. But in terms of tactically learning new stuff, I really learned a lot in Sweden tactically, like in terms of game management and all that, which I didn't have it. Yes, we are tactical, but they are quite detailed in Sweden in terms of tactics, how to do, how to move, to have lots of video sessions every week and all that. They prepare you quite well.
What about conditioning? Because I know you're really big on conditioning, SNC and things like that, but what about the conditioning aspect? Because, and is there like a kind of like one highlight while you were there that made you see things from a different perspective?
Yeah, there's this time I had unfortunately I got an injury, and I was just now getting back to my best, getting back into shape. So I had this session with the personal trainer, conditioning session. I almost flew back to Kenya the following day. It was tough. It was tough. Like, for you to get to the best level, for you to get to your best shape, you just have to sacrifice, to give your all, and that's what I went through there, because they push me to the limit. They push you to the limit, whereby they know if they push you to the limit, then you get back stronger. So that's when I knew, like, okay, this is a different level in terms of conditioning and how they prepare a player to get back from injury to playing. So it was quite challenging at that time, but something that I took on board, and till today is something that I always use.
So in terms of is there like that period where maybe like the things we used to, you know, in Kenya, it's just after that you just do a little bit of stretching, just water only, and then that's it?
So
I normally also see like some massage water.
So when I got to Sweden, of course I went through the medical. They call it control, where they check ligaments, they check your muscles, they check your body, the blood, everything. All was good, but they are quite really serious in players' health. So weekly, after every 2 weeks, you weighed your fat percentage on. You just don't eat how you want. There's a certain percentage you need to be at for you to play. They check your urine after every week. When you will report, they check your urine to see if you hydrate properly and all that. So here I wasn't exposed to that. I knew that, but I just hadn't been exposed like now to see it real time. I hadn't gone through that, so it was a good experience, and it took me to a different level of how I see stuff, and be more professional. How your recovery time, your own training time, because there you need to do your own extra gym sessions and all that. So luckily for gym sessions, something I didn't struggle with, because I had it back here with me. I used to do my extra session apart from the team session. I had my own extra session, so that was easy to adapt to. But in terms of how you eat, in terms of how you look after yourself, it was something I had to adapt quite quickly.
And maybe speaking of that, because I'm personally very interested in knowing a lot of things about sports science and things like that, because now you're a specialist at that. Is there a situation where maybe I've seen somewhere where they say, like in countries like those, and we'll get to your time in UK as well, recovery sessions, you'd rather miss training but not miss recovery sessions? How significant is that to, you know, as an athlete in general? Like, why the significance?
It's because that's what sets you up for the next session, you know? Coming from Kenya, normally clubs here in Kenya, when you play a game, the following day is an off day. For them there it's different. When you play a game, the following day you train, recovery session, then you have an off day. That's how it works there. So for you to miss a recovery session is like you've killed someone. It's big time. The coaches can never, it's non-negotiable. You have to show up for recovery session. That's why they check if you have any niggles, if you have any injuries that they need to check out and prepare you for the next game in good time. Because I can remember there's one game I almost got into the bad books of the coach, because after the game we had an ice bath session. And I'm in Sweden.
Yeah, exactly.
The temperatures are not.
Oh, it's winter time.
Yeah, it's winter. It's, you can't like imagine yourself after the game going out to an ice bath. But for them, you have to. So I was the last one to get into the ice bath. The coach had to cover. If you don't get into the ice bath, forget about the next game. It's serious. So I had to get into. I remember even there's a time I was warming up for a game. So in the changing room, you know, the heaters on.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hadn't worn the Under Armour tights.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I'm from Kenya, man. I'll deal with this. So I went for my warm up. During the warm up, I'm not getting warm. It was cool, like your feet freeze, your toes, like. So I had to get back to the changing room and wear the tights. You can see my teammates were laughing. They're like, this is not Africa.
This is not Africa where you're used to the weather like this.
Even when you train, you can still play with your jersey on without anything inside. So I had to adapt even to the weather. But in terms of recovery, as you said, they really take it quite seriously. And I also like to tell like players, you need to take your recovery seriously. People assume it. It might sound a small thing, but that's what makes the big difference. Your recovering time, even your sleeping time, they take it quite seriously. So you'd rather miss a training session but not a recovery session.
Exactly. So that's after that you came back to Tusker because like you said already the issues
I had a
with
good first season with them. Yes, I had a few injuries here and there, missed a couple of games, but got back, played well, finished the season well. Got back. So before I signed my contract at Carlsted, there was an option. After the first year, the changes they'll make on the contract, better terms and everything. Everything was okay. We agreed to everything. Come that time, I'm just here back home because pre-season there starts in April. April, the season from April to November. So I was just home here chilling, and then my agent called me like, these people are not changing the contract, this and this. I'm like, no, we agreed on this. Let them follow to what So my agent tried to talk to them, but they didn't get to an agreement. And in Europe, it's quite different. If the agent and the club don't get along, that's it. There's nothing much you can do. But I'm still thankful to them for the experience and the chance they gave me when I was there. I really learned a lot. I developed also things I didn't know in my game. I ended up in terms some formations that I had never played in, ended up playing in. So
that's when you
so I decided to come back because I was like, I can't stay out of the game. So I went and talked to Tusker because that's always home. I explained to them my situation. They were glad to have me back, and that's how I got back to Tusker here.
And then you played there for a season.
Season.
And then now that's when
my contract came to an end. At that time, as I was playing at Tusker, I was also because I also have my fitness company on the side, Elevate Athletics. So all along I've been just doing it and studying SNC and all that. So Brighton reached out, Brighton Uni and
University. They just reached out themselves.
They just we have been seeing what you've been doing and we are following up. We have been following you for quite some time, and we'd like to give you the opportunity to come to Brighton and take your career of SNC to the next level. So it wasn't an easy decision because the love for football is still there.
Yeah, exactly,
I love the game till today. So this meant I stopped all that I was doing here.
Yeah, exactly.
Moved there.
You moved there.
So my worry was, will I stop playing football? So I had to look for a club there, a professional club, because I wasn't ready to stop playing football. Exactly. I still believe I still got the legs.
I know.
So I reached out to them and said, okay, it's a good opportunity for me, but I still want to play football. And still, I love the game. My passion is there. My hunger is still there. Yeah, they said no worries about that. There is a team here called White Oak. They play in the Isthmian League. It's quite professional, and they'll take care of you. So they train at night, so it won't interfere with your studies. And that's when I decided, okay, it's a new challenge, not easy, but I'll take it up. Despite having an offer from Gor Mahia, AFC, Tusker, Kenya Police. Yeah.
You decided, let me just go the bigger picture.
I looked at it, I was like, not that I'm bragging, but I've won everything in Kenya. I need a new challenge. I've won the cup, I've won the league 3 times. I've won the GoTV
2 times.
Exactly, I've won the Defender of the Season. So I was like, okay, let me go for a new challenge. And that's how I ended up going to the UK. People were shocked, but at the end of the day, it's, you have to go with your gut feeling. You know, if you end up listening to everybody, you know, you're in life, you're not gonna make the right decision. If you listen to everybody's opinion, never.
Exactly. So while you were there, because there's so many things to talk about with regards to being at the University of Brighton. Are you done with your studies?
I earned my degree, but I still have some hours to clock. So I need another 2 years. So I'll be there.
Another 2 years to gain more knowledge.
Because I need to do internship as well. I need to be put out on the field and do all that. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm still chasing to get to a higher level in terms of football there, to come up the level, the ladder in terms of the leagues there. Hopefully I can get to the National League.
Exactly. So, and you've played for 2 different clubs while over there. How different are they? Because off camera you told me that level 6th tier of English football is a cut above anything.
To be honest, I was shocked. I was shocked in terms of how they treat players there. They appreciate their players. Something I think Kenyan teams, not all of them. Some do appreciate their players, but not all. They need to take that on board. They really appreciate the players. I can remember there's after my first 2 games, because it's not easy. They take everything seriously in terms of the catapult. They measure your performance every game. So after my debut, the following day, I received my stats.
The following day.
This is how you played, your sprints, you cover these kilometers, everything. Our next session, this is what you're going to be doing. Like, you need to work on this and this and this. When you're going for a game, you're given all the information that I need. If I'm going to mark, if I'm going to mark him, I have everything. How you played the last game, this team, they're going to make the substitution at this time, who has the yellow card. Like, they prepare you something that some teams here in Kenya do, but not all. In terms of pay as well, it's a contract. They honor the contract. They do what the contract says. You get paid in time. Because for me, I'm paid like wages weekly.
Weekly wages.
So I was shocked during match day. I just thought that maybe I'll just see a handful of fans. But to be honest, the field is full. And you know, England people love the pint of beer. It's normal to them. So their culture is quite big, and that's why English football is well respected all over the world. Because after 3 to 4 games, I called Victor Wanyama, like, bro, I'm giving you the respect of playing in the top flight.
In the very top.
Because it was tough. Their football is quite direct. especially in that league. Quite direct, quite physical. If you're not prepared for it, then they love the hard tackles. That's what the fan comes to. They love the hard tackles, the toughness, the everything. So that's how I've had a good, I can say 10 months there so far.
Over there,
but I'm still looking to climb the ladder up. So.
To get to at least maybe the national level.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you also need to remember our rankings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So our ranking in terms of FIFA. And the fact that because I know Brexit came up with, brought a couple of complications over there. So with regards to things like national team rankings,
and also remember
like
the fact I'm a student as well.
You're a student as well.
So I need to.
So you need to. And then there is that issue with international cups,
Exactly.
Brexit came up with a lot of complications over there.
So that's now I'm looking forward to going back there and continue my journey of playing football and studying. Hopefully, my dream is always to come back and help the young ones back here and just prepare them. Luckily, I've worked with a few. I've worked with Mansour. I've worked with Lawi before he went to sign in Finland.
Finland. Oh, these young taps are coming through.
I feel like if I can mentor them, for me, I didn't have that mentor at that time. But if you can prepare them before they go there, then to be a good thing.
And of course, there are. Speaking of conditioning, that there are differences between Kenya and abroad generally, where like you said, after the game, the next day is recovery sessions and then rest, and then you train again, then rest, and then you train again, and then you play in the match day. Whereas here it's the next day rest, then come back to training on Tuesday, because if the games happen on Sunday, you come back to training on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Because in Sweden had 2 rest days in a week.
In Sweden. And in England?
In England, it's just 1 day. In Sweden, I was like, okay, will I be ready for the game? But they prepare you. Just that's the mentality I had when I was living here. Because here you're only given 1 rest day. Most coaches feel like if you're given 2 rest days, you'll be ready for the game.
You'll be ready.
But then for them, they have a different perspective where they feel if you're well rested, then you'll give more on match day, and you'd be less prone to injuries. So I had to adapt to that. So in England, we train because most matches in that league are played on Saturday. So you train Monday, Tuesday. You can rest on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It depends on the coach. Some coaches who can give you a rest day before the match, a day before the match. In Kenya, they can't try that.
You can't try that.
Most players, coaches will be like, they'll go to the club. But for them, they know what they're doing. Just having that professional mentality and mindset, knowing what you want to do in life and your priorities, picking your priorities right.
And of course, we've seen as we wind up, maybe there are a couple of Kenyans, like now, for example, Dean Kariuki, who's now lead analyst at Aston Villa, used to work at Kariobangi Sharks as a goalkeeping coach. Now, all of a sudden, one thing leads to another, and he's an analyst there. Do you see yourself now that we spoke of camera? You said you've now even earned another 4-year visa. Do you see yourself transitioning now to being, as much as you want to give back to the community back home in Kenya? Do you feel like the opportunity over there, if it allows you to find yourself in a position where you become, a sports scientist or a fitness coach in one of the major clubs over there, do you think it will help elevate you and help you with regards to the vision that you have for your own company back home?
Definitely. Back out there in England, there are quite lots of opportunities to tap in. So if that opportunities come knocking, then definitely I'll go for it. At the end of the day, the more knowledge I get, the more I'll be able to give back and to share my knowledge with many people, because one thing I've learned about playing abroad, you need to invest in yourself, and most players don't do that.
Exactly.
Most players don't do that.
Your body is your office.
Exactly. Invest in yourself. Invest in your recovery. Invest in how you eat. Invest at putting your extra work in the gym. Invest in going to see a doctor or a masseuse to get massaged. All that, you know. Most players just think it's come training, go back home. You need to do more extra.
Exactly.
If it's something you need to buy for yourself that will make you have an edge over your opponents, do it.